fool for TNT, Mcgee. And Shaq took the beef to Twitter, throwing shots back and forth. Then the big dogs got involved. The Warriors brass contacted Turner officials to express concern about the ongoing negative portrayal of Mcgee and potential damage it could cause to his reputation. Then on Saturday, Shaq told the Undefeated that he'll lay off Mcgee because his mother told him to. Stephen A., do you think the Warriors should have contacted TNT?
Absolutely not. The Warriors look bad in this situation. They come across as big babies. Everybody knows how I feel about them. I respect the hell out of Steve Kerr. I think he's a great coach. I respect the hell out of Bob Myers. Joe Lacob is a fabulous owner. They're a first-class organization, but this reeks of pettiness. It's like, come on now. If JaVale Mcgee can't put on his big boy pants and deal with this, then you know what? He doesn't need to be in the league. And Kevin Durant, we all know how it's like when he comes to your defense. He'll come to your defense now and depart ways from you in another month or so. You never know with him, so they'll take that with a grain of salt. But let's be clear about something here. You know, JaVale Mcgee, let me be respectful. Pamela McGee is his mama. She was a former #2 overall pick in the WNBA draft in 1997, I believe. She was a fantastic player. She knows basketball, et cetera, et cetera. She raved about what her son was going to be before he came into the NBA. Hasn't worked out so well. He's 7 feet tall. He weighs 270 pounds. He can jump out of the gym. His athleticism is off the chart. He's a career 7-point-per-game scorer with 5 rebounds who has never averaged more than 27 minutes a game in a season. His career high was 28 points, and that was back 6 years ago in March of 2011, okay? And in terms of Shaq and a fool, can y'all play some of those videos for me, please? I mean, this it's not like Shaq's lying, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's happened, y'all. The video is there. I mean, some of these bloopers, just watch them. I mean, the list just goes on, and there are things that he has done that has not been impressive, and then there are other things that he has done, like this, dribbling the ball, that has been flat-out idiotic. And there is one play where he is seen running the wrong way away from his team. That was one of the bloopers on Shaq and a Fool. So it's not like Shaq is lying about the dude, Max. And last but not least, not only is he telling the truth, but who exactly is it that's telling the truth? It would happen to be a 4-time champion who's universally recognized as the most dominant figure of the modern era and one of the 2 most dominant forces in the history of basketball other than Wilt Chamberlain. It took Mama Shaq, who I know very, very well. I love me some Mama Shaq. How you doing? How you doing, Mama? I love me some Mama Shaq. It took her to intervene because I know this woman. I've had to deal with this woman. She's the same woman that came up to me, Max, and said, I'm upset at you, and refused to talk to me a few years ago. I said, why would I do? She said, you're not hard enough on my son. You're giving him a pass. You need to get on him. You need to stay on his butt. That's what she said. She don't play. She had to stop him because Shaq wouldn't have let up, because Shaq ain't trying to lay off this dude. And I don't blame him. I just don't see the problem. You got to play better.
Here's the issue that we're dealing with now. A PC culture run amok. And we don't focus on that as much in recent months because of the crassness of our politics, especially on one side, and the politically kind of incorrect nature of that politics.
Right.
But there is still something stifling about, you know, in the air in terms of the PC culture. So how does that affect things? Well, there's this idea of cyberbullying, for example. And that's very serious. Kids who are cyberbullied, that's a real issue. And in fact,
been a lot of suicides.
Absolutely. And you can't make light of it, of course not. And JaVale McGee's mother brought that up after Shaq's mom brought up, wait a minute, my kid's being cyberbullied. And that calls to mind a very serious issue. On the other hand, is this really cyberbullying? Is when one person's making millions of dollars playing a game on TV, open to public criticism, another guy's job is to criticize the ridiculous, and so there are a lot of ridiculous plays he can point to. Is that really, and for the Warriors to contact a media outlet and say, hey, can you go easy on our guy? That's like being teased by the class clown and having your mom or dad come to school. On the one hand, I get it. If it's actually bullying, the mom or dad should come to school. But if it's simply being teased by the class clown, and where do you draw the line? Well, another interesting thing came up recently.
Yep.
Mark Cuban. There was a Bleacher Report that puts an honest, a funny little thing where he's airballing a shot, and Mark Cuban complains, and they take it down and apologize. So it's in this general atmosphere of political correctness run amok that we're dealing with this, and I think that informs some of our opinion about this. Maybe don't worry so much about. This is not really bullying. It's kind of fair criticism that they're complaining about.
Can I play devil's advocate, because I feel like you guys are on the same page here? And the Bleacher Report was an isolated incident. And I love the show Inside the NBA. I get Shaq in a Fool. I get the segment. But why repeatedly show this guy? You don't think that becomes personal? Other guys have bloopers.
Let me stop you right there,
okay.
Molly. We sit on a show where we critique things every morning. Mm-hmm. You gonna tell the producers it ain't just Shaq. TNT does that. They give him that video. They play that video. Shaq is right there showing the video. Charles Barkley is next to him being absolutely hysterical. By the way, Ernie Johnson is laughing his tail off, and we all know Ernie Johnson, rather, to be absolutely class personified.
But that's not answering my question.
It is answering your question. No. I'm saying to you that...
Why repeatedly him?
Because he's repeatedly doing it.
But there's no one else to show?
Trust me when I tell you. When I watch Shaq and the Fool... Yep. He's very, very astute and accurate in who he calls out on a particular day. If there are other people, listen, there's a part we showed the one with Otto Porter. He's standing there frozen, and the guy runs to the other side of the, but he didn't do it 5 times. He did it once. He shows a different clip of JaVale Mcgee, and it's a different incident that he provides.
Look,
what is he supposed to do?
Molly, to your point.
Last point is this, and I'm gonna throw this to you, Max, give you the last word here. How are these, whether it's Mark Cuban going off about Bleacher, whether it's the Golden State Warriors and others, how is this any different than Trump tweeting when he don't like something? I mean, think about it.
We're not saying that's okay.
No, I would say what you're reacting to, what people who don't like what Shaq's doing are reacting to, is it's the strong preying on the weak. You know, if JaVale Mcgee is a kind of guy who just gets spacey sometimes, that's part of his personality, and he can work on it on the margins, but that's never really going to change. And so as long as he's playing, he's a target for Shaq. And Shaq is strong, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players who ever lived, multiple-time champion, and all those kind of things. And so it just feels like not an abuse of power, but the powerful kind of preying on the weak. And so it has the sense of bullying, yes. I get that basic sentiment. On the other hand, you're making a lot of money playing a game on TV.